This is a story about drunk Lisa. Okay, so me and my buddy went to a dive bar last night, like the same one we always go to, and it's pretty chill. And then we decided that, well, we didn't really decide, the alcohol did, that we were gonna go downtown where all the woo girls were. So me and my friend are sitting at the table, and 3 people come up to us. I'm gonna paint the picture real quick. Okay, 2 girls, 1 guy. Okay, I want you to picture Stewie from Family Guy, just like real life version, and like stretch Stewie out to be like 7 feet tall. I'm talking like the voice and like literally like Stewie's like twin. Then there was normal person, Hannah, and then drunk Lisa. Now, everyone has that friend, right, who gets so fucking drunk that you're just looking at them like, shut the fuck up. Like, you are so sloppy. Like, stop. That was drunk Lisa. And Stewie and normal Hannah are just like rolling their eyes already. Anyways, I start talking to drunk Lisa, because why not? And she was very friendly. So, words exchange, and then Stewie comes walking over and he's like, blah, 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 words and stuff. They're not like us. And I was like, what do you mean like us? He was basically assuming that I was a lesbian in this story because he's gay, and I have a shaved head, so that must have meant that I'm a lesbian, whilst not entirely accurate. However, when you're out in public meeting people that you don't really know, you kind of go with the flow, because to get into your life story would be just a little bit too weird. I was like, oh, is it because I have a shaved head? And so like drunk Lisa is like, what, is that not true? And I was like, not entirely, but I mean, you can read about it exactly in my book. And she's like, you're writing a book? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what kind of book? Is it fiction, nonfiction? Is it a memoir? And I was like, it's a memoir. She's like, tell me more. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, how old are you? Because the way she was acting, I thought she was 21, but she's 28. So I was like, I'm writing a memoir about like my life from 18 to now, and it's still continuing, and the first 8 chapters are up, so you could go to Wedgaholics.com right now and read it. And she's like, that's so cool. So like, what are you writing about? I was like, I've hooked up with a lot of straight chicks, and they always make for good stories. And so she was like, why do you hook up with straight girls? And I was like, because it's easy. They like me, I like them, it kind of works, you know. And she was like, well, what is it about straight girls versus a lesbian? Like, are they better? Like, are they better hooking up? I was like, I don't know. I've hooked up with like this many straight girls and like 1 lesbian, so I really can't like speak on behalf of all the lesbians I have not hooked up with. And she was like, but like, do they know? And all of a sudden, like, it starts unbuttoning my shirt, and thank God the buttons only went like down like a little bit, and I was like, what are you doing? And so now like I stand up, right, from the chair, and she's like comes up and starts unbuttoning my shirt again, but there are no more buttons, so she's just like playing with my shirt. Her hands start going up my shirt the other way, and I was like, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, literally. And she was like, what? Like, do straight girls do it better? I was like, I'm sorry, in this story, are you straight? And she goes, well, I am, but didn't mean I didn't go to college. And I was like, this is almost way too easy. The thing is, if you're like sloppy like that and you're throwing yourself at me, I'm already turned off and the game's already done. Sits back down, I sit down, and I go, now tell me, if I was a guy or one of your like straight looking hot friends, you wouldn't have come up to them and like start taking their shirt off or start rubbing on their like chest, stomach, I guess. And she's like, yes, I would. And I was like, really? I don't think so. So she's like, I'm not gonna be one of your conquests. And I was like, what the fuck? First of all, how do you know that I call them conquests? And 7, you will be one of my conquests if I want you to be. So she's got this like attitude now. Now she's like angry in some way, which I don't know how that happened. And she's like, I would do it to a guy or a girl. I was like, really? Okay. So I'm going to pick out a fuckboy for you, and you go do it. And she's like, fine, I will. And I was like, all right, how about that guy over there? And when you go over there, I want you to fall backwards into that group of girls so they can come over here too, okay? And she was like, you're an asshole. And I was like, yeah, go. And so she went, and she was gone for like 45 minutes. So that was like dreamy. You can't tell them that you're gonna go up their shirt. You can't. You're cheating. So she cheated and failed. But she thinks she won. She didn't win. Anyways, we move on to like the next bar, and we're sitting there, and she's like looking at me, and she's like, you look like you have a lot in your mind. Do you want to say something? And I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, literally, what is going on? I was like, no, I'm listening to you talk. You're telling a story to the group. So I was like, I'm listening to you talk. And I was like, fuck this bitch, right? I'm gonna start talking to normal Hannah. So I was like, normal Hannah, what the fuck is good with your friend? And she was, I don't know, she just gets like super drunk and like she makes bad decisions. And I was like, hey, drunk Lisa. I was like, what's the longest relationship you've been in? She's like, I haven't had one. And I was like, oh, surprise. And she was just got this look like she's gonna fucking kill me. And I was like, maybe I should have just let her up my shirt or down my pants in this story. So now normal Hannah's like, oh, you got tattoos? And I was like, yeah. Do you have tattoos? Stewie, do you have tattoos? Hey, drunk Lisa, do you have tattoos? I don't have fucking tattoos. That was like her answer. I was like, okay. So Stewie and normal Hannah started asking me about my tattoos, like, where are they? I was like, oh, I got one here, I got one here. Lisa's like, why do you have a feather? I was like, it's a crow's feather. And she's like, yeah, but why? And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I was like, you really want to know? And so normal Hannah's like, Lisa, like, maybe she doesn't want to talk about it. And I was like, no, it's fine. I was like, well, drunk Lisa, about 5 years ago, my mom overdosed from drugs. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then the person I was dating at the time dropped their entire life to be with me. And I got a crow's feather because studies have shown that crows have facial recognition. So they remember, like, negative traits as well as positive traits. And that's why I got a crow's feather, because as much as I want to strangle my ex, I really cannot repay her for all that she did in that time of despair and tragedy in my life. As soon as I finished that, my mom's song comes on, Last Call, like, it's like, last call, and like, hit me with your best shot comes on, and I was like, holy shit. And I'm getting goosebumps right now, because I was like, what the fuck? And so drunk Lisa is like, oh, and she kind of like shuts the fuck up, thank God. And so like, everyone at the table now is like, she's here, your mom's with you, and I was like, you guys are fucking, this is weird. And so then after that, drunk Lisa laid off, and normal Hannah went on the quest to go through my Instagram and find my tattoos, and she was literally normal and she's pretty chill. And that was the time I met drunk Lisa. That's all I gotta say. We're done.